Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Hey,
there we go.
everybody.
Hey,
Hey,
it's
you're.
spooky weed.
Hey, are you black, Chadley?
Am I black? No, I'm a white man.
Oh no, your screen was black for a good solid 30
Oh,
seconds.
oh, am I
I thought
back?
that was your costume.
Am I out of black now? Am I good?
No, you're good now.
All right. So it's spooky weed. It's actually Halloween. We're doing this podcast.
Yeah. Well,
We
you don't
don't.
want to date the episodes, but it is in fact Halloween. The
It is
spookiest, the spookiest of seasons, Chadley.
absolutely. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Halloween. Not only
The
dating it, but
witching hour.
timing it.
Well, this is episode 67. You know what that means, right, Chadley?
Yeah, 2 more to 69.
2 more to 69. That's correct.
Close.
So if you're on the audio version of this, I'd suggest you head on over to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/punchnerds, and check out these awesome costumes we have donned. Chadley actually hasn't got his ready yet, but
No,
I'm wearing a king costume. So if you're just listening, imagine a beautiful cape and a nice crown.
Yeah, it's is that real gold?
I mean,
Can you confirm?
I'm not going to confirm nor deny.
Real gold. You look great in your. Tell me about like the process of choosing the king costume.
Here's the thing. I was originally going to go as Superman, but I couldn't fit my arms into the Superman costume because they had a bunch of fake muscles on it, and my actual biceps wouldn't fit into the armholes because the fucking fake biceps were constricting my real giant biceps. So then I went for the plan B. I took the cape from the Superman costume and found a crown. So that was the process in picking this.
Well, you do in fact. All right, I'm gonna put on my costume. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm Jason. In movie Epidemic fashion, I'm Jason Voorhees.
I see why you said you weren't going to wear it for the whole time because it kind of muffles your voice.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought. Is it makes me sound like shit. But I was telling Buckle Duke about this. As you can see, for all your YouTube watchers, there's blood splatters on here, and about 50% of the blood splatters are fake blood.
Oh, wow.
And about the other 50% is real blood because I sliced my finger open last night and I took the opportunity. So yeah, some of this is real blood. Not going to tell the truth.
It's like fake blood. That's the thing I like about real blood. Is when real blood dries, it looks like fake blood.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when fake blood dries, it looks like real blood. It's a real conundrum, Chadley.
But here's the thing about buying these Jason masks is that they come like this, but you have to cut the slit in because I think the people who make the masks don't know anything about Friday the 13th.
Oh, you cut your own slit in?
Yeah, I cut my own slit in there. Because in I think it's either the third or the fourth movie, he gets the axe to the head and it fucks up his mask, and he retains that for most of the franchise.
I noticed you're also wearing like some sort of navy jacket that he would probably wear.
Yeah. That's I just kind of looked for like the heaviest jacket I owned, and this one I like vaping in this mask too.
So then it bounces back and gets in your eyes.
Yeah, and it just looks like I'm on fire.
I see. Well, what do we got on the table today, Chadley? What are we talking about?
Today we watched some spooky movies this week. We watched Eli Roth's The Green Inferno, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. Then we're going to do our top 5 movies to watch on Halloween. These are all movies that I've actually watched on Halloween. Some of them make sense, some of them not so much, but that'll be interesting. Then, speaking of Jason Voorhees, like my face, we're going to watch Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about that. Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday, right? It had a basically what was essentially a subtitle and then a second subtitle without actually saying Friday the 13th.
The triple
part
subtitle. 9. That's correct.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And then we're going to end it off.
Its tagline. I'm going to look that up.
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's going to make me just riled up. Oh, I was telling Buck LeDuc that since I slit my finger open last night, I've been finding blood everywhere. Just found some on my keyboard. What the fuck? Okay.
Would you like to hear the tagline? It's very long.
Yeah, sure. How long?
It's like, you'll see. Horror, has many faces, ... Death, wears many different masks, ... But pure evil wears only one, ... And this is your final chance, to see it.
That's
one of the worst taglines I've ever heard.
That does not stick in your head at all. I don't even remember anything about that tagline, and you said it 10 seconds ago. I recall nothing about it.
Would you like to hear some more taglines?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I've got the tagline here for The Gift.
All right.
So I don't want to give too much away about this movie until we talk about it, but the tagline is, "The sins of your past will become your present." Kind of good. It's a pun, and
yeah. Oh yeah, I get it. Present. I get it. I like that.
Like to hear one more tagline?
Yeah, one more. We'll do Green Inferno.
"Fear will eat you alive." Now that's probably better than the movie.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good tagline. I got a lot to say about that movie. Yeah. So let's start off. I'm gonna take off the mask so it doesn't muffle my voice anymore.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about Green Inferno.
Sure.
So I have a lot of questions about Green Inferno. And
okay. Let me answer. I did a lot of research after, so let me answer any of your questions, Chadley.
Every question that I have about Green Inferno starts with the word why. First of all, why the fuck was the first 45 minutes about nothing? Why did the first 45 minutes have nothing to do with the rest of the movie? I understand that they needed an excuse for her to go to Africa, but she didn't need to do all that shit while she was there. Like, there didn't need to be that much.
I'll tell you why. According to Eli Roth, now this is him just backtracking on making a shitty movie, but apparently it's so that you don't feel bad for them because they're all shitheads, and this is making fun of social justice people, is what Eli Roth has said publicly. So
it's making fun of social. It seemed to have a lot of social commentary that.
Yeah, but it's making fun of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure I got that impression. It felt sort of like, like
this
how
is apparently a satire, but the thing about satire is you have to be able to write. And I think what we've learned about Eli Roth over the past couple movies from him is he might, in fact, be illiterate, Chadley.
Yeah, he might be the worst writer of all time. I had such high hopes going into this movie.
Because technically, Eli Roth isn't a bad director, technically. No, but he's just a horrible fucking writer, and he's written the last couple films he's done, and they've been so bad, Chadley.
Well, the thing is like, about this movie and Knock Knock, like, cinematography is pretty good. Surprisingly, cinematography is not bad in both of them. This one was really pretty to look at because it was very colorful with all the green that they had.
Absolutely. The red on green is fantastic. The gore was quite good, I thought. But that's about the only places it hits home.
The scene where they chopped up that guy that looked almost exactly like oh shit, what's the name of that rapper? What did Malibu Shark Attack? What's that guy's name? Yeah, the guy who looks almost exactly like Tribe One.
Yeah, I thought it was our boy Tribe.
when they chopped him up, that was some pretty good stuff. That was a good
scene. The show, good guy.
Yeah,
but it looked a lot like Tribe One. If you're confused, Google Tribe One.
Yeah, you'll see it and be like, that might be the same guy.
It might be that guy.
Might be the same guy. But yeah. So here's my big problem. Number one is that, like, if you're gonna make a satire, it's got to be a satire. You can't make a satire that's a horror movie. It has to be a horror comedy. But this wasn't a comedy at all.
Well, I think it tried to be in places, but it's just, again, it was just all of the, if there were jokes, they did not land.
Yeah, but one of the lines at the very beginning just made me throw up my hands. I almost left. I almost turned it off. He goes. She's talking to her dad, who's like a UN lawyer, for the sake of convenience for the script.
And another thing I noticed is they kept driving home that she was like a white girl from the suburbs. Yeah, she was looking pretty brown, quite honestly.
yeah. Her dad was the whitest dude in this movie. I don't know how he made her, but
Mexican mother, maybe
a Mexican mother. But he's a UN lawyer. And she says to him, she's talking about like women circumcision. And she's like, this has got to end. And he's like, these things can't end overnight. And she goes, if there's oil involved, it can. And I was like, are you fucking serious right now? That's the worst line. Some of the worst dialogue I've ever heard in my life is in this movie. That one was especially bad. Also, this movie dons such lines as, activism is fucking gay.
Yeah,
Somebody,
that's a joke. That's part of the satire. I understand what it is. It's just not good.
it's not good. This movie has a lot of problems, but
You want to know? We want to know the one that made me pause it for 25 minutes.
What's that?
It was when she was talking to the fat guy at the beginning, and she's like, don't you starve? Don't you guys starve yourselves like for hunger strikes?" And he's like, "Well, some of the kids do, but not me, obviously."
Yeah, that was a jaw dropper for sure.
And I'm like, well, time to go do something else for a bit.
Were they hiring exclusively for a fat dude on that lot just for that bit?
Yeah.
They're hiring. They never mention that he's fat again. It's just that one time. Do they?
Yeah.
Do they?
When they're on the plane and he tries to sit by her, and the dude's like, "Yo, you're just a fat guy in love."
Oh, goddamn.
And then they eat him. Well, don't want to spoil anything, but there's cannibals in this, and they eat him first because he's the largest. You didn't get that joke either?
I mean, I guess it makes sense. But here's the problem.
This movie completely went over your head. Hey, Chadley.
I just did, I was just, after the first 20, 30 minutes, I was just tapping out so heavily. But here's the thing. And this is the first thing I noticed. Eli Roth, he knows how to dig up some of the worst actors in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
It's shocking. Now, that main girl, she's most commonly known for another movie we talked about in Spookytober. She was one of the girls in Knock Knock. And she was
true.
She was not good in that either. And she was not good in this. But she was 1,000,000 times better at acting than the girl who played her sarcastic roommate.
You mean Sky Ferreira?
Sure, I don't know who that girl is, but that is the worst. That might be the worst performance I've ever seen in a movie. She was shockingly bad. I couldn't fucking believe it.
You mean the singer Sky Ferreira wasn't good in your opinion?
Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Is that who that is?
You mean the person that got famous off MySpace videos?
Is that who that is? It makes sense that she can't act. If she got famous on MySpace doing music, it makes sense she can't act. Like Keanu Reeves and Nicolas Cage could fucking act circles around them, going 5% each. She was fucking brutal. Then they waste so much time on this activism shit where they're tying themselves to trees, and it's a cannibal movie. It's an hour and a half, and they wasted 50 minutes on that.
That's hour 40.
If they were gonna, okay, fine. That's half the movie though. This movie is a cannibal movie. Maybe waste 20, 30 minutes on that tops, but half the movie is that there was two segments, the segment where she's deciding to become an activist and the segment where she is an activist. And those could have just been condensed into one little segment that just gave us an intro to the characters. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't. It was dragged on. And then, of course, they get the plane crashes and suddenly they're being kidnapped by cannibals. That's when the movie gets a little better.
Yeah, absolutely.
Still not good though.
I mean, there's still a lot of issues with that though, because once they get to the cannibal area, this is where Eli Roth really tries to bring home the jokes, and none of them land. None of them land.
Now, here's one thing I will say about this movie. Have you ever seen Spy Kids?
Sure.
You know the kid who plays Junie, the little Jufro kid?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with who he plays in this movie, Chadley.
Have you ever wanted to see his witch finger?
Because you get to see it. Well, half.
You get to see. Yeah, it's what was that with Ben Affleck where you saw his witch finger? What the fuck was that with Gone Girl? Gone Girl. It's you see about as much of his witch finger as you do in that, but instead of it being a flash, it's on screen for a full 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's meaty. So if you want to see the Spy Kids witch finger, it's in here.
Mm-hmm.
That guy might have been the best actor in the movie, which is shocking because he wasn't.
He was all right. Yeah, he was all right. Maybe it was just because I was surrounded by horribleness, but I'm like, yeah, he's not bad.
Yeah.
No, you know who's the best actors in this? The entire tribe.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not bad. You know, I believed it. I believed it. There was no subtitles on them.
Real professionals.
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if they were real cannibals. I wouldn't be surprised.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying they're real professionals, Chadley.
But one part that I actually did kind of like is when they forced the weed down that girl's throat because they knew she'd be the next one that they'd eat. And then
see this was an interesting segment because that one little baggie of weed got the entire village wasted, and I don't really see how that translates. But
yeah, absolutely. And like these people, they'll eat fucking anything that they find. I'm sure they've been high as shit before. A little bit of weed probably wouldn't even faze them that much.
I bet you there's tons of weed in the Amazon. Never been personally, but
no, never been either. Because it's Halloween, I do have some treats. I only grabbed a couple because it's for the children. But
really, you're gonna eat on camera? Hey, that's fantastic.
yeah, absolutely. Eat during the podcast.
Eat on the mic, hey? That's yeah. You're a real professional, Chadley. Unlike the tribe in the Green Inferno. But there's a couple like I know like Roth likes to do like the shock jokes too, like where the dude's jerking off in the den, and then like when the chick has diarrhea in the cage.
Yep, they were just going for as much as I could. But here's the thing. This is what kind of weirded me out about this movie is that first scene where they kill the fat guy. You see everything.
Yeah.
You see it all.
Hardcore.
And then whenever they kill people after that, it's sort of like tastefully shot, so you don't really see them get chopped up. And it's like, why? We've already seen the guy's tongue get cut off, and they fucking took the wire and slowly went through his neck. Like,
I will say that's one of the best eye gouging scenes in cinema.
Yeah, and here's another thing that weirded me out about that is that like that guy who was getting chopped up, he had his eyes taken out. And then he had his tongue taken out, and then they chopped off both his arms and both his legs until it was just a torso and a head. And he was screaming through all of it, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe after the eyes, he might have passed out from blood loss. Like most likely, he wouldn't. And maybe after the first arm, but he wouldn't be conscious through all of it. There's no
Chadley, now you're nitpicking in an area that doesn't need to be nitpicked because I think the gore is the highlight of this film.
No, the gore was fine. I just don't think he would have been conscious for the whole thing.
Chadley, now you're nitpicking for the sake of nitpicking.
I didn't like this movie.
I don't like it either. I didn't think it was very good, but you know.
There was just some things. Also, it's predictable as shit. Because as soon as they get to the cannibalism, she looks at a girl and the girl looks at her, and there's like a mutual respect there, and you're like, that girl's gonna save her. And then she plays the whistle for the little girl, and the girl likes the whistle, and it's like, that girl's gonna save her. And then what happens? That girl saves her.
Now you're spoiling everything, Chad.
it's not a movie I recommend you check out. I don't mind spoiling shitty movies. It's one of those things.
How about that ending? How about that ending? Hey.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Yeah, I made it to I don't want to give too many spoilers, but let me tell you, it's a dumb ending, and I don't. Maybe if you were really, really an activist, maybe, maybe you would do that. But it felt like she was just being an activist in the beginning of the movie to prove a point to her friend. Like, honestly, she went to Africa to save those people to prove a point.
I don't know if you got to the ending, Chadley.
Where she lied?
Yeah, there's more after that though.
Oh yeah, with the satellite thing.
What the fuck are you talking about, Chadley?
Where the girl calls her. It's like halfway through the credits. Did you not see that part?
Yeah, I saw that.
Which ending are we talking about? I'm confused.
Where she wakes up and it was a dream?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I think only the one thing was the dream. I think she did see the cannibals. I think there was cannibals. How much of this was actually a dream? It was unclear.
I thought it was pretty clear, Chadley. I guess not. Okay.
I thought it was just a part where he was like, he found her, because halfway through the credits, did you see it? Did you wait? Or did you turn it right off?
No, I watched.
Because like halfway through the credits, it's like, we need to talk. It was the guy's brother, and she's like, I found my brother on a satellite. To me, that meant that they actually went to the village. Like, for sure.
All right.
That's what it meant to me. But There's another thing that I wanted to talk about this movie, and this is something I've never seen before, and it had me screaming. You know when like the credits start rolling and the cast comes up and it's like character, actor.
Okay. Again, you misinterpreted this, but yes.
Character, actor, fucking Twitter handle. I couldn't believe this. How did I misinterpret that?
That's again a joke, Chadley, about people on social media. 100%. That's the best joke in the entire movie.
Motherfucker was throwing out his Twitter handle, dude. Motherfucker was I was screaming. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I didn't like this movie.
Well, it's because the reason this didn't get released for 2 years is because Twitter freaked out, Chadley.
Twitter freaked out? Why? Because it was like a jab at them?
Yeah, and the gore and everything.
Oh, okay.
So he added in Twitter handles at the end as a joke. Which I think is hilarious, by the way.
Oh, man. All right. I mean, like, it's not a bad joke, and it's actually not even a bad idea. I wouldn't mind seeing that in every movie from now on. If they just started throwing out Twitter handles, I wouldn't be mad at it. It was really weird to see. I didn't expect it.
Well, Eli Roth, he's a progressive guy. He's making his own shit,
Ahead of the curve. He might be a little bit ahead of the curve. Oh my God.
I don't know if he can read, but
pretty positive he can. Now here's the thing.
I'm almost positive he can't read or write.
This movie, I don't know if you know this, but this movie, it's got a greenlit sequel.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's called Beyond the Green Inferno.
Oh yeah, I did read that.
Yeah, it's gonna be written by the same guys, so don't expect it to be good.
That should be fantastic.
I don't know. This felt preachy, and if it was satirical, it went over my head.
It was satirical, and it did go over your head, but that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe throw in some jokes, Eli Roth.
Because it was so poorly written, you could not see the satire, and I only know that because I went in knowing a lot about this movie. So
fair enough. Didn't love it. Thought this was pretty fucking terrible.
I wish it was better because I love cannibal shit. # Cannibal Holocaust forever.
Yeah, the stuff where they were eating the dude, that was
just watch good. Cannibal Holocaust, honestly.
I also really liked when they gave them part to their friend and they started eating it, and they're like, "Gotta have the energy, gotta get the energy." There was some good stuff in this movie. I just felt like not enough good stuff to like make up for the really bad writing, the really bad performances, and the atrocious dialogue.
Yeah, the dialogue really struck it home for me.
Yeah, it's what ruined the whole fucking movie.
I did enjoy a lot of the stuff when they were with the cannibal tribe, though. So this gets a solid 1.5 to 2 star from Buck LeDuc.
I gave it 1 star. I thought I was being pretty generous. I didn't give it a ½ star. Here's what I'll say about this movie. It's better than Knock Knock.
It's definitely more entertaining.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Now, of course,
I did turn this one off way more than I turned off Knock Knock. I turned the Green Inferno, like paused it about 8 times, whereas I paused Knock Knock maybe 4 times.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, it is one of those movies that's hard to get through, but once you get to the end, you feel like you've accomplished something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, there's no payoff, but you still feel like you accomplished something.
So that seems like a good time to move into our top 5, Chadley.
Top 5. This is just generic top 5 movies to watch on Halloween.
This is the Halloween episode. I want to start this off with the obvious answer. My number 5 is Halloween.
Halloween. That's keep doing the theme for a little while. Keep doing the theme. I wouldn't mind if you just kept doing the theme. But Halloween, it's a really fun movie. Michael Myers attacking, just generic teens. Jamie Lee Curtis got her start in those movies, and it's absolutely a fantastic movie. I ain't got no beef on Halloween. It's not.
Sorry, I was ordering food.
Yeah, that's okay. What did you order? What'd
I
you
got
order?
a Mama Burger from A&W.
Oh, GB. I love me some Mama Burger. I might.
Yeah. Halloween. What were you saying about it?
I was just saying, like, it's not personally on my list, but it is a great movie to watch on Halloween.
It's good. It's a good Halloween movie. I think. I do agree. It's not my favorite slasher. It's a lot of people's favorite slasher. And I understand why. I definitely understand why. I just think it's a little boring compared to some of the other ones. But yeah, I like Halloween.
When I was in college, I did a project, like an audio project about like all the different movies to watch on Halloween, and this one was on here because you couldn't just step over it. The rest of them that I mentioned are on this list, except for, and I know a lot of people watch this movie on Halloween. I'm just not a big fan. It is a good movie, I can tell. I just don't really like it. It's Rocky Horror Picture Show. A lot of people watch that one.
Oh yeah, that's not for me.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre.
I've heard it's like spectacular if you're in like a theater watching it with all the people that are singing along and whatnot, but it's not for me.
Yeah, not my favorite. My number five is a little Nicolas Cage movie, one of my favorite movies ever. This is Vampire's Kiss.
I'm a vampire, Chad.
I'm a vampire. This is such a fun movie. I might watch this movie tonight. I might do a double feature with Troll 2.
Ooh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be a good double feature. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire's Kiss, this is an absolute must for Halloween. It's so silly. It's so goofy. It has a million quotable lines.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
My number 4, little movie I watched recently. It's a spin-off of the Night of the Living Dead. It's called The Return of the Living Dead. Are you familiar with The Return, Chadley?
No, I don't think I am.
I think you should probably put this on your watch list because Return of the Living Dead is one of the best horror comedies I've seen in a long time.
And it's like just like a parody on Night of the Living Dead?
Well, it's the guy that wrote Night of the Living Dead with George Romero, but they split off, and then Romero did the Dawn and the Day and the rest of those ones, Land, and then the other guy did the Return of the Living Dead and the Return of the Living Dead 2. So they're all in the same sort of universe, but he went a little more comedy with it, and it's really fucking good.
I'd like to see that. That sounds really good. My number 4. This is one you probably expect. I'll probably watch this one tomorrow because it's a perfect movie to watch on November 1st. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Sure.
This is a great movie. It is more of a Christmas movie, honestly. That's why I like to watch it on November 1st because
It's getting cold as shit in Canada. It's cold as shit November 1st. So
yeah, exactly. It's actually not even that cold yet, though. It hasn't even snowed yet, which is weird.
It usually does by now, but global warming and whatnot.
Yeah, global warming. We'll get snow in December, and it'll be gone by mid-January.
Sometimes mid-May. We'll see.
So, it fluctuates. But Nightmare Before Christmas, it is like a perfect movie to watch directly after Halloween. Halloween's still fresh in your mind, but you're ready to get amped for Christmas. I like Nightmare Before Christmas a lot.
This is one that I just, it's a personal favorite of mine. I don't know if it has anything really to do with Halloween, but the spooky season, I really like to watch this one. This is Poltergeist, the original.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'd say this one for sure counts. This is a great movie. Craig T. Nelson's in it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with Halloween other than it's spooky, but it's such a good movie,
I'm going to tell you right now, one of the movies on my list has nothing to do with Halloween. It's not even a spooky movie, but I watch it every Halloween, and not every, but I watch it a lot of Halloweens, and I don't know why. I'm watching it tonight. I actually have plans to do that with my brother. We'll get to that one soon. Okay. My number 3 is a movie that makes sense for Halloween. It's my good boy Johnny Depp. Oh. You know which one it is. It's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah, Nightmare.
God damn, this is a good movie.
I almost bought on Amazon. They had the thing for $20. It was the first 5 Nightmares on Blu-ray.
Those are the good ones, though.
How many
of those were there? Nightmare. I could never remember. Was there like 6 or 7?
There was like, I think there was like 6, and then New Nightmare, and then the remake. So it's probably like 7 or 8.
They make 2 of the remakes? I feel like they made 2 of the remakes.
Well, New Nightmare was kind of a remake. It was like when Wes Craven came back to direct another one. It was after the first 6, I think, and it was called New Nightmare, and it was kind of like not related to the rest of them. So
yeah, taking a look at it, there's currently 9 Nightmare on Elm Street movies. That includes New Nightmare, Freddy vs. Jason, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
right.
That might be next Halloween. That might be our series.
I would do I would do that for sure.
I'm a huge fan of Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy's Revenge is a little bit interesting, but we'll get it.
I've only seen the first 2.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But Nightmare on Elm Street, if you're looking for what I like about Nightmare on Elm Street is that it is a slasher, but it is genuinely terrifying the way that no other slasher is.
Absolutely.
Because with like Jason Voorhees, you can run, you can run away. Can't run away from Freddy Krueger. He'll fuck you up.
And everybody's had nightmares, so I think it really strikes home where some other movies do not. Like I've never had to run away from a psychopathic murder in the woods, so I still love those movies, but
just I'm not super connected with them.
It doesn't strike the same fear into my heart.
What is your number 2?
My number 2 little movie. I'm sure is on your list. This is called Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness. I watched this already. I watched it a couple of days ago. Turned on the surround sound, busted it up, listened to every guy. Here's what I like about that movie is that it's written almost exclusively in one-liners.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's almost no other dialogue but one-liners.
I just watched Evil Dead 2 either last night or the night before because it was on Netflix, and I'm like, I could watch some Evil Dead 2. That's actually like better than I remember.
Yeah, I'll probably pump that one up a little bit later on.
Yeah.
In the day.
Still, the Army of Darkness reigns supreme. That shit's fucking
absolute. Army of Darkness is fucking amazing. It's an amazing movie. Now, my number 2 doesn't actually make sense, but I've actually watched it on Halloween multiple times, and I will be watching it tonight as well. Mm-hmm. My number 2 is The Goonies.
Okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it's like the pirate theme that they got going on, or just like the spooky sewer stuff. The sloth. There is something that just sort of screams Halloween to me about The Goonies. It's not a Halloween movie. It really isn't.
It's creepy though.
It's a little creepy.
It's a fun adventure movie though.
The Goonies is one of those movies where you're either like, that is a masterpiece, or what a piece of garbage. Like I don't know a single person who's like, yeah, it's okay. Yeah. Nobody's lukewarm to The Goonies.
Partner's lukewarm, which is because he's weird though.
Partner's barely a real person.
I think he might be a robot. I've been contemplating that for years.
Man, it would make sense because I've never met a human being that intelligent. I don't know what the fuck's going on with him.
Also with less emotions, and he never ages. So
yeah, it's true. In fact, if anything, it looks like he's aging backwards.
Yeah, true. He's getting younger. The more souls he sucks, the younger he gets.
What's your?
Where the fuck is that guy? I haven't heard from him in like a month.
Really?
He's a doctor.
I haven't. Is he a doctor now?
He's in med school now, so it's like it's hard to get him away. Like I can get him like every couple of weeks, and we can record like 2 weeks worth of videos. So like we're getting low. We're getting low on the surplus.
All right. Well,
we had a back catalog of like 90 videos for the YouTube, and now we're down to like a week's worth. So
I just messaged
at any given time.
I just messaged him and asked him if he is dead.
Okay, that's good. Spooky too.
It's it's Halloween. Spooky. He might be dead. It's true though. He could be dead. We don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
What is your number 1? We're there. We're at number 1.
My number 1. This is my favorite of this particular series. Doesn't have anything to do with the series really, but I don't know if you've even seen this one. But I'm talking about Halloween 3: Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch. I've never seen this one. I've actually only seen, I think, the first 1 or maybe 2 Halloween movies. I wasn't impressed, so I didn't continue.
The second one takes off immediately after the first one, so you probably would have remembered it. And there's no way you've seen the third one because you would definitely remember it. It has nothing to do with Halloween. It's just its own story, and it's about this guy at the Silver Shamrock Factory, and he makes these masks for kids. and there's like it's like a whole plot on Halloween. 2 more days to Halloween, and their fucking heads explode in the mass, and snakes come out, and it's really fucking good, Jelly.
Before I pump out my number one, I want to give an honorable mention to Ernest Scared Stupid. That's
absolutely.
That's a great.
Also, Charlie the Great Pumpkin.
Oh yeah,
Charlie Brown the Great Pumpkin.
I'm gonna get some kid friendly Halloween movies just to toss them on when kids are coming to my door and shit. So like I don't want to watch like something that like Friday.
Put on Halloween 3.
It probably says fuck in it though.
Nah, I don't know.
I don't want to piss off parents. I don't want them to look at me like, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed of yourself for this filth. These are children.
Yeah.
My number one, we kind of already talked about it a little bit. My number one is the Evil Dead trilogy. I try to watch it every Halloween. Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness.
Absolutely.
All great movies. As a series, they don't really run together because they keep recapping, and the recap isn't exactly accurate to the previous film. But they're still all fun to watch. Evil Dead 2 is actually kind of a remake of the first one. It's kind of. It pretends that the first one didn't even exist. But the Evil Dead 2 is a really, really good one. Army of Darkness.
I saw them in complete backwards order, I think. It doesn't even really matter.
No, because they recap, and they recap it well, you know?
Yeah.
They tell you they tell you everything you need to know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, check out if you're fiending for some Halloween movies tonight, check out the Evil Dead.
Those are the picks. Those are the picks.
Evil Dead and Halloween 3.
Halloween 3, absolutely. It's a perfect Halloween movie.
Now, we've been watching these Friday the 13th movies. And there was a couple that I hadn't seen, and that includes Jason Goes to Hell. And this one was always like panned, and I was like, how could a movie called Jason Goes to Hell be panned? And I think I after seeing it, I think I have the answer.
See, I didn't remember if I had seen this one or not, because I don't remember one taking place in hell particularly, and I also didn't remember Freddy Krueger being in it. You mentioned that last week, so I didn't know if I had seen this one. But now I remember why I thought that, because it's fucking forgettable and it's really bad. And very misleading title. Yeah, it does not take place in hell.
In fact, I was like 10 minutes to the end. Like I paused it and I was like, holy shit, this movie's been going on a while. We're not in hell. I actually pulled out my stopwatch because I was like, I'm gonna time how much how long they're actually in hell in this movie. And I started it and I stopped it. I started as soon as they got to hell, and I stopped it right when the movie ended. And let me tell you something, that stopwatch said 0 seconds. They did not go to hell. They didn't go to hell. None of this movie takes place in hell. What? Why? Change the title.
Well, they send them to hell, I suppose.
Yeah, but that's like if it was like Jason Goes to Manhattan, if the entire thing took place in Crystal Lake and somebody gets a phone call and he's like, he's in Manhattan right now, and we don't see any of it.
Yeah.
Why? Why did that happen? Now this one is really confusing as well, because there's a character named Duke, and he's like a bounty hunter, and
he's the worst.
He's just there. He's literally just there for exposition.
Yeah.
And they introduce a lot of like lore behind Jason Voorhees in this one. And it was like, okay, but if we're gonna have this much lore, why was this not mentioned in the previous 8 films? Why did you try and squish it into one movie? And this is the worst thing ever. Number one, Jason Voorhees isn't even really in this movie, which is the first big gripe. Basically, Jason Voorhees learns how to possess people. He takes his soul.
Remember the copycat killer in 5? Kind of like that one, but somehow worse.
Yeah, absolutely. Much worse. This is the worst one we've seen, which is shocking.
This is the worst one of the series.
This is despicable. Which is weird because
our only 90s Friday too.
Now, at the very end of the movie, when right after he's been sucked into hell, his mask is sitting there, and then Freddy Krueger, his hand comes up and he grabs the mask, he sucks it back down. Now, call this the intuition of a seasoned veteran, or the intuition of literally fucking anybody who knows anything about movies. But here's what I theorize. is that Freddy versus Jason was planned many years in advance. Because this came out in 93, and that didn't come out till 2003. So here's what I think happened. Is that originally it was going to be the 10th Friday the 13th movie. But when Jason Goes to Hell bombed so spectacularly, they put it on the shelf for a little bit, and then they threw out Jason X. That did a little bit better. It gave them enough money to be like, yeah, we can throw out Freddy versus Jason now.
You are correct. That is what happened.
That seems 100% likely to me. And like, I don't even think
I just looked it up on Wikipedia, and that is exactly what happened.
And that was just intuition. That's just something that I figured was the truth. But Jason Goes to Hell, he's possessing people, and then he goes back to Crystal Lake to this is the most convoluted and unnecessary plot in history. He needs to find another Voorhees from a sister that somehow didn't get mentioned through the entire 8 movies. He finds his sister, he murders her, and then he finds her daughter and was trying to suck the soul out of the daughter's daughter.
Yeah, it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life, Gently.
There's like a part where he pins down the baby and then like this black tongue comes out and he's like, and I was like, what the fuck am I even watching here? This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous one. But you know what? I would say this was probably the last of the true trying to be horror Friday the 13th movies. So we got through all the horror Friday the 13th movies. Like the rest of them are like the other 3, they're jokes, right? They're just jokes.
Basically.
But this one was probably the last one that was trying to be horror. We got through all of those in the month of October. This one, it was just like another thing that I found so weird is that they changed the perspective so often. Like at first it was about like doctors, and then suddenly it was become about FBI agents, and it was about the bounty hunter. Then
honestly, I was so lost for like most of this movie. I'm like, what the fuck is even happening now?
Then it became about the news guy, and then probably halfway through the movie, we finally get our main character who just looks like a 90s version of fucking McLovin, and then he takes over for most of the rest of the movie, but still, here's what confuses me the most is we had these perspective changes in Friday the 13th movies all the time. Sure. But usually the perspective changes because Jason's murdered the person that it's focusing on. But that wasn't always the case in this movie. You just get some plot of a random character, and then it would just like switch over. And then like halfway through Steven's thing, they had the thing with the campers where it was like, I get it. You know, they want to have some camper death because that's classic Friday the 13th. But these characters have nothing to do with anything.
No, absolutely not.
There was a 15-minute segment just for people to die. That being said, good deaths, man. When she's fucking the guy and he puts the spear through her, I'm not mad at that death.
Yeah, but that was just like such a small section of this movie that it's inexcusable, really.
And the movie didn't even really make sense. And then it was like, you have to use this dagger to kill Jason Voorhees. And then she grabs the dagger and it's like, suddenly it's like a fucking like lightsaber. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
It's the most inconsistent thing I've ever seen. You know what really made me blood red mad? This isn't even has anything really to do with the movie, but have you ever noticed how bounty hunters always are fucking dressed up like cowboys and outlaws and shit?
Yeah, they have the trench coat and the...
Yeah, here's a tip for all bounty hunters listening. Maybe dress up like a lawyer or something. Because if I'm on the run, Chadley, from the FBI or whatever, I'm not. If I see a guy that looks like a fucking outlaw, you know what I'm gonna do? Fucking run away from him. If I see a guy that looks like a lawyer who's like looking for coke or something at a seedy dive bar, I mean, I'm not gonna avoid that guy particularly. And then he can swoop in. I'm avoiding fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter and his big-titted wife. You know, that's who I'm avoiding. I'm not avoiding a little guy who's like, you know how like a lawyer like looks sometimes they're ripped, but he's like wearing a suit, so it's hard to tell.
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Perfect bounty hunter. That's a perfect bounty hunter. Right there.
There you go. Nobody's gonna question you. Like if you got like a nice haircut.
Hey, bounty hunters, you're a freelance for the government. You're not really an outlaw. You work for the government. You're not an outlaw.
You're the opposite of an outlaw.
I fucking hate bounty hunters, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it did seem weird.
Fuck, dude.
There was also like a really weird scene that maybe this went over my head. Maybe I just didn't get it. Where he's giving that guy information, but for every piece of information, he has to break his fingers.
Oh yeah, I didn't know what that was all about.
Why? Why did you have to do that? What part of you was like, this gotta happen?
Yeah, was that like some sort of like what? I don't see who that helps really.
Was he getting off on it?
I don't know.
It was weird.
See, I watched an episode of Daredevil on Netflix right before this, and there was a section where they were torturing a guy, and this is all kind of running together for me, like the torture scenes. But yeah, I don't know what was happening there.
And then like the bounty, the weirdest character was the fucking news guy that was dating Jason Voorhees' granddaughter or niece or whatever. And the weirdest scene in the entire movie is when he's at the Voorhees mansion and he's like on the phone and he's like, yeah, I went and stole her mom's body from the morgue. Stole the mom's body, then went home and fucked her daughter. And I was like, what the fuck? It's It's
confusing, man. And it was so badly written. It's convoluted as fuck.
Yeah, it did. Like that's the main problem is that it didn't need to be that convoluted. It really didn't. This could have been really basic. I don't know why they made it so confusing. What were they thinking?
How did this get made? Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this fucking shit show. It's the worst one by far.
And the big problem is that the rules kept changing. They're like, oh yeah, he needs to find a Voorhees. He needs to find a Voorhees in order to come back alive.
That part left me buffaloed. I'm like, why? Why is there a daughter? Why is there? What is all this? Why is there any Voorhees people left? It doesn't make sense. Jason doesn't have a dick, as far as I know.
Yeah, you would think that if he had a sister, you would think we might have heard of it.
Yeah.
You think we might have heard of that one, but
might have showed up at one point.
Yeah, absolutely. This was just them kind of like making up stuff and being like, "No, it's canon."
No, it's canon. This is all canon. This movie is canon, by the way.
One thing I do want to say about Friday the 13th is I just found this out yesterday, and it's really cool. Is that right now there's a Kickstarter for a Friday the 13th video game where you play as Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, awesome. It looks fucking amazing.
And originally it was just like a game where you played as a serial murderer, but then like Sean Cunningham came to them and was like, "Hey, make this Friday the 13th. That would be amazing."
That's what he should have done with the Final Girls.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking too. Is like, why didn't he do that? He's ready and willing to just throw out his IP willy-nilly.
I mean, I can't even imagine he's making any money off of it, really.
He obviously
he gets royalties, obviously. But like,
if Final Girls was Friday the 13th Part 11, not only would it have gone to theaters like widespread, it would have been much more successful, and it would have made him money for sure.
Yeah. I was talking about the video game more, actually, but.
Oh, the video game? It's a Kickstarter game. There's no way he's making any money off that. He's just throwing money in.
Yeah. Obviously, he gets a % of the sales, but my nose is itchy. I'm rubbing it on the.
But like with a video game, there's a much bigger crew than there would be for a movie, so he won't get much off of it.
Well, that's up for debate.
He probably, I think Sean Cunningham just really does have a love for the series, which is the most confusing part, because why did he fuck it up so bad?
Well, so they're making another remake coming out coming out soon.
Oh, well, I ain't too mad at that.
Michael Bay producing again, though.
Oh, maybe I'm mad at that then. We saw what happened. I've seen what happens when Michael Bay.
It's not Friday the 13th Part 2 or anything like that. It's just called Friday the 13th. Once again, it's like,
are you kidding me? They're rebooting it again?
It's like that movie came out like 4 years ago.
It must have been less than that. I feel like it was
09?
Maybe. Hold on. What was it? Friday the 13th. Oh, no, yeah, you're right. Oh, shit. Like, I feel like that was like 3 days ago that came out. I'm pretty sure that came out when I was in college. Or maybe it was the Nightmare one that came out when I was in college. Or no, it was the Halloween one? I don't know. I felt like that came out when I was in college.
Well, Halloween was like 08 too, though.
No, Halloween was 07. What the fuck?
Oh, yeah. Well, Halloween 2. That was later.
I don't remember anything. I don't remember anything. Like, I thought that came out like last year. It couldn't have come out when I was in college because I wasn't in college then.
Well, Chadley, we don't know.
I was pretty positive.
Confused.
We're all confused. So yeah, that's Jason Goes to Hell. If you've learned anything, let me just tell you, Jason does not, in fact, go to hell. He might go there, but it's not on screen. No on-screen hell.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Sits at 0 seconds. 0 seconds. I was really confused because I was like, I kept pausing and I was like, they got 20 minutes left. They better get there pretty quickly, And they never got there, and I was really disappointed. Too bad. Too fucking bad.
You know what hell is, Chadley? Hell is you're in a room and you have to watch this movie on repeat for all eternity. Jason Goes to Hell. #it.
In that case, I might become a Christian just to avoid it. God bless.
You know what heaven is, Chadley?
What's that?
You're in a room and you have to watch The Big Lebowski over and over again.
God bless. That is heaven, dude.
That is heaven. That is heaven. with White Russians on available at all times.
Yeah, and you get to hang out with the Coen brothers while you do it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Why not make it a little fancier? It's heaven.
Yeah, fuck, you can do whatever you want. Now, our last movie of Spoopy-tober, we finally made it. We made it to the last
6
movie.
episodes of Spooky-tober, Chadley. That's more than we thought we were going to get.
Yeah, we thought we were going to hit up 4. We got 6 done. How many fucking 6? That's 6 times 3. That's 18 movies. Holy shit! 18 goddamn Halloween movies.
Didn't even know there was that many.
We pumped out a lot this month. But this last one is called The Gift. This is called The Gift. It's got Jason Bateman
Gifties.
Joel Edgerton. And you know what? I'm glad we saved this one for last. We might have found the best movie of Spoopy-tober.
I would think so. What else? Well, I mean, Final Girls is good, but I think this might be a little better.
Yeah, this one's it's a horror movie, but what I like about this movie,
more of a thriller.
What I like about this movie is that it takes like the idea of terrifying the audience and it makes it really real. It makes it really real. It's like things that people are actually terrified right now, like being like, these are things that I felt fear for. So I was really uncomfortable watching this movie, like losing your job or having, your better half leave you, stuff like that. That's like actually shit that I'm afraid of. And like, that's what they really nailed home on this movie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this movie was written, directed, and starred Joel Edgerton. And let me tell you, that is one talented motherfucker right there.
Uh-huh.
He played the creepy character of Gordo.
Gordo.
Gordo!
Great name. I love anybody named Gordo.
He was really good.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
He's an amazing
I've seen him in stuff before. I mean, like, he just came out of nowhere with this fucking movie. This is the year of the surprise hits, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Joel Edgerton, he's gonna be like in fucking Star Wars next year or like Avengers or something.
Absolutely. I'd like to see him as some sort of superhero, Hawkman.
Yeah, as soon as you get famous enough, that's when you get into Marvel and Marvel and Star Wars. That's as soon as you're famous enough, that's all that happens. You get drafted for Marvel or Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like trying to get into the big leagues of like hockey or whatever sport. How you play in the juniors for a while and then you get promoted to the Disney shit. It's the big leagues.
As soon as you're on Disney's payroll, you're good for your entire life.
Absolutely.
But this movie is really good. Basically, it's about this guy, and he runs into. I actually don't want to give too many spoilers about this movie because I think it's a movie everybody should watch.
Yeah, good twist ending. M. Night Shyamalan wishes he could make this. All those people that were saying Shyamalan's back. How about Joel Edgerton's arrived? How about that?
Yeah. I told you texted me when you were 30 minutes to the end of the movie, and I told you would scream at the twist ending. Did you scream?
It was good. I mean, I did see it coming about 15 minutes before it happened.
Really? I didn't see it coming at all. Maybe I'm a simpler man.
Yeah, you're dumb as shit. So like that's obvious. But it is a really good twist ending. Beats of Old Boy, which I enjoy.
Yeah. Not quite as good as
It's not quite as good as Old Boy, but
Old Boy
it
is
is
easily.
It is obvious though that Joel Edgerton is a fan of Korean cinema and the Vengeance trilogy because it has beats from that entire trilogy. So
Absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. And this one, it's just like the whole movie is like a revenge movie.
yes, absolutely, it is a revenge movie. It's a revenge thriller, is what I would call this. Is what I would classify it. It's not a horror, but it's suspenseful.
But you know what? It may not be a horror movie, but I think I was more scared watching this movie than I was any other movie this month. Like
absolutely.
I actually was,
because it was well written, and that does a lot for any film in my opinion.
What makes this movie so good is that pretty much from the second you meet Gordo to the end of the movie, you feel uncomfortable.
Right. Like you never like. There's a lot of good audio work with this too. I noticed I had headphones in when I was watching this, so I could really hear it. But there's like audio beats that, like, is he there or not? Because something's creeping around, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's such an interesting movie. And honestly, I didn't think one of the best movies I've seen this year was going to be a fucking horror starring Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Jason Bateman of all people. He was fine. He's good in that character.
He was Jason Bateman. He was guy who pretends to care about his family but cares mostly just about himself. Yeah, just your usual stuff.
Looking out for number one.
Yeah, looking out for number one, but pretends that he cares about other people more than himself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this could have been an Arrested Development sequel. I wouldn't have batted an eyelash. I would have been sitting there, been like, "Where's Michael Cera?" But that's the only thing I would have questioned.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Joel Edgerton steals the show, obviously. Rebecca Hall as well. Like, this is just jam-packed, full of really, really good performances. I think Buckle Duke's food has arrived. Has your food arrived? Is your food there? Did your food get there? But either way, yeah, this is chock full.
Yeah, my food has arrived, but I'm not going to eat it on camera like a fucking savage.
Dude,
just there's fries in there too.
Take a chop. Just take a chop. I ain't gonna be
absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I totally agree. Everybody was fucking pretty good in this movie. Jason
Bateman was probably the weakest of them all, and he was pretty good.
Yeah,
I wasn't mad at it.
Not a huge cast, but it worked good. It worked good for what it was.
There wasn't anybody else really notable other than the three main characters. A lot of really smaller characters, but like the movie keeps taking turns that you don't necessarily expect. And that's what I really like about it.
It's definitely a well thought out, and like it's a slow burn, definitely, but like I was never bored by it, which sometimes happens in these kind of movies. But
I don't want to give too many spoilers about the movie, but what I really like is that they sort of about 20 minutes into the movie, they sort of establish Joel Edgerton as a bad guy, and then from there on out, very, very slowly, your mind starts to shift because you think like, oh, Joel Edgerton's a bad guy. Your mind starts to shift, and you're like, oh shit, maybe Joel Edgerton's the good guy and Jason Bateman's the bad guy.
They plant those little things in your head, right? Like about what the relationship between Gordo and Jason Bateman's character, from their past. They start to plant those things in your head, and then they get to the ending there, and they again flip the cards, which I love.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those movies that's so well written. There's what I like about this movie, and you find this every now and again, but there isn't a single piece of dialogue that doesn't have a purpose in this movie.
Sure, yeah.
Everything that is said for a reason.
Well, that's why it's a slow burn, but it's like it's not boring because everything is like it's not exposition for the sake of exposition,
Yeah, absolutely. Like the character of Duke in Jason Goes to Hell, literally just there for exposition.
Yeah.
But it's so weird to see a movie, especially like a horror movie coming out in 2015. I didn't think we'd find a good one. I didn't think that we would find a really good one that wasn't like a comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the only other really good one I think we found was Final Girls. And
I would think so, yeah.
And I'd
have to look back at the schedule, but I think you might be right on that one.
Yeah. But this is definitely, without a doubt, the best movie we watched in Spookytober. It's interesting. Like, it is. Like, that's just like the run of it, is that you're on the edge of your seat pretty much the whole. I might watch this again. I really like this. I might watch it again tonight. I might show it to my brother because I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
I had a really good time watching it. And it's one of those movies where I feel like it almost might be better on a second viewing.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, like, once you see the twist ending, it's it's ingrained in your brain forever.
But I still love Old Boy. I'll watch Old Boy anytime, and I know the twist to that. But
I like rewatching movies with twists because and I found this when I rewatch Fight Club pretty much every time, is that like you'll notice just like little things that the filmmaker did.
Oh, that's the point of Fight Club, though, is to watch it a million times. There's so much shit in there. That's a dense fucking movie. Whether you like Fight Club or not, it's a dense fucking movie.
And like Fight Club is one of those movies, somehow, I think I saw it for the first time in like 2007 or something, and somehow nobody ever spoiled the ending for me. And I didn't see it coming. I had no idea.
That's there's been a few that I've gotten. I didn't watch it for like 10 years and the ending wasn't spoiled. Like the first time I saw Old Boy like a few years ago, I didn't know the ending to that. You also, I don't think, knew the ending, right? That one's more obscure though. That's a more obscure movie. But
yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely been stuff where I've not been spoiled in it. Like Soylent Green. Soylent Green.
I've never been spoiled on that. I've never seen it, so don't
probably watch it then. But that's a good one.
Who's in that again? Is that
Charlton
McDowell?
Heston, baby.
Oh, Charlton Heston, right. Why did I think it was Malcolm McDowell?
No, yeah, I don't know.
Malcolm McDowell's he's not looking too good these days.
No, he's old.
Take a look at him right now.
He was in that lawyer show though for a while. My dad watched it. I think the Suits or something like that.
He was in a movie, and I'm not shitting you. This is the actual title of the film. He was in a movie called Home Alone 5: The Holiday Heist.
Hell yeah, Malcolm.
Yeah, I might make you watch that during Christmas, just because. I mean, it's a few years old, but I'm just so curious as to how Malcolm McDowell fits into the Home Alone franchise.
You can watch that on your own time, Charles.
I'm not gonna watch it if you're not watching it too.
Well, there's just some Chadley that I will refuse to watch. As much as I love movies, some of them I gotta tap out on.
Holy shit, Malcolm McDowell! I'm looking at his filmography right now. He's been in a lot of shit, man.
Yeah, man.
He was in the 2007 Halloween.
Was he? Yeah, no, wasn't he Michael Myers?
No, he was Loomis. I don't know who Loomis is. Not a lot of. Oh, he was in The Artist. I don't even remember him being in The Artist.
Yeah, I don't remember much about that movie.
Well, it's not a great movie, so I didn't like The Artist. But maybe it's just me.
I thought it was all right. It's a movie of the year. I would disagree with that, but
yeah, absolutely.
What about Clockwork Orange though? Come on.
Oh, that's a goddamn masterpiece.
Doesn't get better than that.
No, absolutely.
I might watch that tonight. I fucking love that movie. I saw it like a month ago, and I'm ready to watch it again. It's just that good.
Well, Stanley Kubrick is the best director of all time.
Yeah, doesn't make a bad film.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but I realized what's so good about Stanley Kubrick is that he tackled every genre and he set the bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's insane. Like, he made a horror movie, and it's revered as one of the best horror movies of all time.
War movie.
Sci-fi?
Sci-fi. You got a war movie. You got a romance. You got a what was Barry Lyndon? That was like a period piece.
Yeah. He did a comedy. Dr. Strangelove is a comedy.
Yeah, Dr. Strangelove, yeah.
And that's a fucking hilarious movie.
Dude, that the last like 20 minutes of that movie is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Where the world's just like exploding.
And the like right before that happens, when the guy's talking about the base he wants to create with all the women.
With all the tunnels.
Shit. It's so funny, dude.
The mines, yeah, that's a fucking hilarious movie. And even like things like thrillers, like I like Eyes Wide Shut. I don't know, I like it.
I love Eyes Wide Shut. I don't understand why that's so like panned as his worst movie.
And the thing is like it might be his worst movie, but it's still like a 4.5 star film.
Yeah, like he doesn't make anything under 4 stars, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
There's a couple I haven't seen, but I've seen most of it.
I would have liked to see what it would have been like if Artificial Intelligence was directed by Stanley Kubrick.
What's that one? I think Path to Glory or something. I've never seen that.
I've never seen that either. Have you seen Spartacus? That's another good one.
I've never seen Spartacus.
Spartacus is good, dude. Roman period piece, good shit.
Yeah.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, the king.
Stanley Kubrick is the king. I might watch The Shining now. I'm really in the mood to watch The Shining now.
I kind of want to watch some Ultraviolence, my friend.
Watch Kingsman. There, you get some Ultraviolence out of Kingsman.
I'd rather just watch Clockwork Orange personally.
Fair enough. Too true. I don't even know, like, what genre, like, because when Clockwork Orange came out, that was an X-rated movie, so he's even tackled pornography and set the bar. So.
Hell, yeah. What else? We got anything else, Chadley? Or is that it? Is that the episode? Is that the sode? I think this is a feature length, boy.
This might be a feature length. There was something else I wanted to talk about, but it's totally...
Watch The Gift if you've learned anything from the last 6 episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. The gift is fantastic. Logging on to IMDb, I see there is, oh, what the fuck? Okay, they're making another Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
Oh, Shipwrecked?
No, it's called The Road Chip.
Oh, man.
And here's the thing, is that this is the worst tagline I've ever seen in my life.
What we got for taglines?
It's them standing on a car on the poster, and it says, Boys on the Hood.
Oh, that's good content.
That's spookier than anything we've reviewed in the last month.
Well, what do we got on the docket for next week, Chair?
Next week, we're going to talk about, we're getting back to our regular rotation. Of course, we're still going to be watching the Friday the 13th movies. We're watching Jason X.
We got our screeners coming in from our sources, so.
Jason X. Then we're going to watch a little Johnny Depp movie called Black Mass.
Black Mass.
I've already seen this one. It's pretty interesting. I think you'll like it.
I got to check that out. Uh-huh.
I think you'll like it. And then we're going to watch a movie that stars my boy, Jason Clarke.
And my boy,
It also stars someone that I absolutely loathe, so I'm pretty nervous about it.
Yeah, who's that? What about Gyllenhaal, though?
Sure, it's got Gyllenhaal, it's got Clark, but it's also it's got that Worthington.
Oh, Sam's in it, hey?
Sam Worthington, he's back. He's back, baby. I thought he was gone. I thought he got his Avatar fuck you money. I thought he was gone, but no, I guess he's back.
I thought he was working on the next 3 Avatars and he'd be out for a while, right?
Well, those have been like delayed beyond belief, so I imagine
he had time to slip in a little Everest film.
Yeah, absolutely. James Cameron called him up and was like, hey, we're actually not going to start work for another 8 months. He was like, well, fuck, what am I supposed to do? I've got bills. Because he's got to have spent all his money by now.
I imagine he lives, a Coke lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Seems like a Coke user to me.
Because like he was also like Nicolas Cage. He did a bunch of like C movies last year.
Did he?
Yeah, he was in, what was it called? It was like, hold on, let me find
Kidnapping Mr. Heineken.
Kidnapping Mr. Heineken. Yes, that's right. He was in that. He was also in Cake, which I've heard is pretty good. I never saw it.
Didn't that win a Razzie though?
Cake? No.
Yeah.
No.
I guarantee you Jennifer Aniston got nominated for a Razzie for that.
I don't think so. I heard she's pretty fucking good in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's also got Kendrick.
Check out Razzies.com and see that Cake nomination right there.
On the cover of Cake, Jennifer Aniston kind of looks like my mom. I think she might be my mom. Did Jennifer Aniston, in fact, get nominated for a Razzie?
Yeah.
Did she actually?
Yeah.
I heard she was pretty good.
I'm not fucking around, Chadley.
My God. That's fucking... Okay, we're not watching Cake, ever. Not that we have time anyways. We have a billion movies to catch up on.
Right here, the 35th Annual Golden Raspberry Awards. Four-time Razzie nominee for Cake, Jennifer Aniston.
Oh man. Ben
Affleck got Gone Girl. Mike Myers got Supermensch for director. Keanu Reeves got John Wick, and Kristen Stewart got Camp X-Ray.
John Wick for worst actor?
Yep. Or no, yeah, I guess so.
I mean, makes sense, I guess. Wait, what was that? What the fuck? Oh, I thought I saw Santa Claus winning a Razzie. Sandler got a Razzie for Blended though, so God bless. Oh no, he was nominated for Blended. Kirk Cameron took it away.
Absolutely. The king. All right, that's good enough for this episode. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.